Today we're doing a deep dive into what might be one of the most profound and frankly difficult psychological works ever written. It's not a book about theory in a vacuum. It's really a testament to the absolute limits of human endurance.
Right.
We're looking at a source that asks a really crushing question. How do you not just survive,
Yeah.
but find a way to live
Right.
when literally everything has been stripped away from you?
And the source we're focusing on is Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning.
Yes.
What makes it so powerful, and I think so necessary, is that Frankl wasn't an academic just, observing from a safe distance.
Ooh.
He was a psychiatrist, a neurologist who lived through it. He was a prisoner in 4 different Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz.
So you have this
Yeah.
this incredible intersection of clinical expertise and a most unimaginable personal crisis. It's psychology, philosophy, testimony, all woven together.
It is.
And our mission here is to really unpack his central argument. He claims that the primary driving force in life isn't pleasure, it's not power, it's the search for meaning.
That unwavering search.
And that's where we have to start, isn't it? In the devastation that actually gave birth to that insight.
Exactly. I mean, when you read the first part of the book where he details life in the camps, the tone is, well, it's suffocating.
It's so restrained, almost clinical.
Yes, and that restraint is what makes the horror so much more powerful.
Yeah.
He's documenting this systematic process of dehumanization.
I was so struck by that word, systematic. The guards weren't just taking their things. They were dismantling their very identity.
Piece by piece, you lose your clothes, your possessions, even your name. You become a number.
A number tattooed on your arm. You lose your past, your profession, any hope for a future. It's the total liquidation of the self.
And it's in that environment where choice seems completely gone that Frankl makes his most crucial observation.
Right.
He saw people facing the exact same trauma, but they didn't all respond the same way. Some just collapsed into despair. They gave up their inner life.
They became, as he says, just passive victims of it all.
But then there were others, and this is the key. Despite the starvation, the cold, the brutality, they held on to something.
An inner freedom, like a mental space that no guard could ever touch.
And that difference, Frankl saw, was the single most critical factor in survival.
He talks about these small moments, doesn't he? A prisoner sharing a tiny piece of bread.
Yes, or offering a word of comfort. He saw theirs as profound acts of spiritual defiance. They were choosing how to face the horror, even if they couldn't choose the horror itself.
And that observation, which was just wrenched from that suffering, that becomes the absolute core of his work.
It's everything.
The idea that everything can be taken from a person except one thing.
The last of the human freedoms.
The freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances.
That is his central breakthrough. It's this radical idea that your external conditions, no matter how awful, do not have to dictate your inner reality.
That choice of how to react is always there.
Always. It's an internal stand you take. It preserves your dignity even when you are physically powerless. And I think that's why the work endures.
And he didn't just leave it as a philosophical idea.
Yeah.
He took that insight and built a whole therapeutic approach around it.
He did. Which brings us to logotherapy.
Logotherapy. Okay, let's break that down.
So it's based on the Greek word logos, which means meaning. The whole therapy is founded on the belief that our primary drive as humans is this will to meaning.
A will to meaning.
It's a proactive, future-oriented drive. So logotherapy is about helping people recognize the specific meaning that is, waiting for them in their life.
And this is a major break from the other psychological theories of his day. Right?
Oh, huge break. You have to remember the landscape then. You had Freud, who focused on the will to pleasure, that we're all just trying to satisfy drives and avoid pain. Then you had Adler, focused on the will to power, striving for superiority. Frankl looked at both and said, no, you've got it wrong. Those aren't primary drives.
So what are they then, in his view?
They're derivative. They're side effects. They're what we neurotically chase when our primary will to meaning is frustrated.
So if you can't find a reason why you should live.
You might desperately chase pleasure or try to dominate people to sort of fill that inner emptiness. He basically said if you aim for meaning, satisfaction will follow. But if you aim directly for pleasure, you'll miss both.
That's a critical distinction.
Yeah.
It makes logotherapy less about digging into your past and more about challenging you to find the purpose that's calling to you right now.
Exactly. It completely shifts the question. It's not, why do I feel this way? It's, what is life asking of me in this moment?
And this idea of a frustrated search for meaning, it feels incredibly relevant today. Frankl looked at the post-war world with all its wealth and comfort, and he diagnosed us with something he called the existential vacuum.
The existential vacuum. It's maybe his most enduring concept for our time. It's that feeling of emptiness, that lack of ultimate meaning that can exist even when all your material needs are met.
You have the means, but you lack the direction.
Perfectly put. You have a nice bed, a good job, but you don't know why you're getting out of it in the morning.
Why does he think that vacuum appears in these affluent societies?
Well, he noticed that modern life gives us too many means and too few ends. Historically, things like tradition, family, religion, they provided meaning almost automatically.
Right, the structures were already in place.
Those structures have weakened, so now the individual has to figure it all out for themselves. And when you combine that with a culture that's constantly screaming that pleasure and consumption are the highest goals, you get paralysis.
It's just left floating.
And that vacuum, that emptiness, is so intolerable that we try to fill it with anything we can. Frankl connects it directly to what he called mass neuroses.
Like anxiety, depression.
Anxiety, depression, aggression, and especially addiction. He saw these as desperate attempts to numb or forget that feeling of profound meaninglessness.
So the goal isn't just to treat the symptom, the addiction, but to get to the root cause.
Which is that the will to meaning is being starved.
Okay, so that sets the stage for the solution he offers. He doesn't just diagnose the problem, he gives us actual pathways out of that vacuum.
He does. And the key distinction is that meaning isn't something we just invent. It's not arbitrary. It's something we discover.
Discover through responsibility.
Exactly. It's an objective reality waiting to be found. And he lays out 3 primary ways we can discover it.
Let's go through them. What's the first one?
The first is through creative work. This is the most straightforward one, I think. Achieving something, contributing something unique to the world.
Like writing a book or building a business.
Or raising a child, or even just doing a small task with excellence. He's not just talking about grand achievements. It's about the attitude you bring to it. It's about fulfilling a demand, not just filling your time.
Okay, so it's the how, not just the what.
Precisely. The second pathway is through love and connection with others. This is really profound. Frankl says love is the only way to truly grasp another person's full potential.
So by loving someone, you help them realize their own meaning?
Yes, and in doing so, you discover a deeper purpose for yourself. It's a shared discovery.
And the third one, this seems to be the one that came directly from his experience in the camps.
It is. The third pathway is meaning found through the attitude we adopt toward unavoidable suffering.
This is the cornerstone, isn't it?
It is, because he recognized there are things in life, pain, guilt, death, that you just can't escape.
And that's such a hard concept for us today. Our culture tells us all suffering is a problem to be solved immediately.
He challenges that directly. He says, if the suffering is unavoidable, if you absolutely cannot change the situation, then you are challenged to change yourself.
By choosing your response.
By choosing your response, you can transform a meaningless fate into a profound human achievement.
So it shifts the question from, why is this happening to me?
To what is the purpose I can give this pain? The moment a person finds a meaning in their suffering, he says, it ceases to be suffering in a way.
It becomes a task.
A task, a challenge. It turns you from a victim into an actor. It's a source of inner strength.
And that's where the real challenge of the book lies. It's not promising happiness or easy solutions.
No, not at all. It insists on radical personal responsibility.
Logotherapy isn't about analyzing your past. It's about what you're going to do now.
Yes. He said that we aren't the ones who should be questioning life. Life is the one questioning us every single day.
And our only valid answer is through our actions.
Through our actions, our integrity, our courage, we have a responsibility to fulfill the unique meaning that only we can fulfill.
Which means you can't wait for it to just show up. And that brings us back to that crucial point. Meaning isn't universal. It's specific to you and to this moment.
It is. So for anyone listening, if Frankl's right, then that responsibility rests entirely with you. You have to evaluate your specific circumstances and ask what unique task is calling out to you.
So to wrap this up, man's search for meaning is so much more than just a survival story.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a guide to living a responsible, meaningful life. A roadmap for navigating crisis, whether it's global or deeply personal.
I think the final message is that a life grounded in purpose can endure almost anything. Dignity isn't in what we have, it's in our ability to choose our response.
And the alternative, the life that avoids that search for meaning,
inevitably leads to the despair of that existential vacuum.
So if Frankl argues that life is constantly asking us questions, we want to leave you with a final thought to explore. Based on what you've heard today about creative work, connection, and your attitude towards suffering, what specific question is the circumstance you're in right now asking of you?
And what action, what integrity, or what courage is required from you to answer it?
Something to reflect on. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.